Joining us today on Inspiring Ideas for the Classroom, we have Kristen Poindexter, a kindergarten teacher at Allisonville Elementary. So welcome, Kristen.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Yeah, thanks for joining us and sharing resources with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
being a
So,
resource, kindergarten
yeah,
teaching. What in the world do you
that's
do?
It's a good time in kindergarten.
What's working for you so far?
Well, as far as online learning goes, I've been using this platform called SeeSaw, and it's free for all teachers, which is the awesome part about it. Um, and it's basically an online portfolio. So I am able to scroll back and see my students' work throughout the entire school year, and their parents can see it as well. And their parents and I can both interact with the content that the kids are posting, and we can like it, we can leave feedback on it. I can leave typed comments or I can leave voice comments, encouraging, a retry on the work or praising a good job. Um, and I can also send their work back to them for correction. So that's been pretty cool. And I've been trying to send out a mix of hands-on activities that they can do online, but also offline, because I don't want them stuck on a screen all day long.
Now, have you had where some of the kids just don't have access to internet as well?
Yes. So I know I have 3 that haven't um, participated in any of the activities yet. So my school district, on the first Monday of every month, the families can drive to our school and pick up a paper packet instead. So the work they might be doing is a little bit different than what we're doing online, but they're still doing work.
Because that's what Amy's doing too. They have the paper packets, and I was entertained by some of the parent questions. They have a warped sense of humor for my entertainment, though. So Amy says when you get it, it's kind of overwhelming. So, and some of the parents like, oh, we're supposed to do it, and they want their kid to sit there for hours and hours doing all these lessons, and they're like, no,
Yeah, no, no,
don't do that.
no. You do like one writing page, one reading page, one math page, one science page a day, and you're done.
Yeah,
Let them play for the rest of the day.
exactly. Have you been doing any like the Amy does like a Zoom for all the class kids to see each other?
Mm-hmm. So we've had a couple Zoom meetings. I've done a couple where I've done scavenger hunts with my kids. So I call out something and then they all run to go get it and bring it back. And that's been pretty entertaining. Um, we've had some where it's show me your house because they're dying to show me their house. So I've seen a lot of floors and carpets and rugs of houses, not many of the walls, because they forget to hold their device up. So that's been hilarious. But I've also had a couple pretty cool Zoom meetings where I've invited some of our specials teachers in
Mm-hmm.
to do them. So, like our PE teacher did a whole workout with them virtually, and our media specialist, she read them a story and then did some activities online and taught them a song. And then we all did head, shoulders, knees, and toes together via Zoom. So that was fun. And our Spanish teacher did a whole lesson in Spanish, and I was so lost, even after taking 4 years of Spanish in high school. But the kids knew exactly what she was saying.
Oh, that's funny.
So I just observed that lesson.
Good one.
Zoom meetings are interesting for sure. We had to set up some agreements, like mute yourself when you first join, knowing that at the end there will always be time. Mrs. Poindexter will open it up, and I put them in breakout rooms so they can say hi to each other and have a little bit quieter conversation with each other. The coolest part, I think, is that I've been able to attend some birthday parties virtually of my kids
Oh,
that I wouldn't have been able to go to, if we were in school. But there was one the other day, her mom dropped off a cupcake at my house before the party so I could celebrate and eat cupcakes when everybody else was too. So that was kind of fun.
oh, that's awesome.
that is real nice.
That social connection is so important, especially at the younger grades. It's so I love that you are able to do that and be able to connect with them. that's something we were talking about here, even with Sarah chatting last week at the high school, needing the
Mhm.
connection. And I know
Yep.
Amy went to the store to get us some necessities that we needed, and one of the moms was working there, and she's like, "How long will you be shopping?" I mean, like, go get her son and bring him to see the teacher. He's like, "He misses you so much."
Aw.
And stuff like that. And so they miss us. And I hear Amy's doing the Zoom meetings and stuff. And
Yep.
to me, it just sounds like chaos. But
Yep.
she's so happy. She's in tears every time to
Yep.
see the kids and be able to talk with them.
Yep. Even my high school son, his high school teachers have been Zooming, and they sent out a message to the parents, and they said, the high schoolers may not think it's cool to do a Zoom meeting, but we miss them just as much as
Yeah.
just as much as anybody. And so just get your kid to sign on so we can see them, because we need that connection. And so I'm like, I don't care if you get on and just sit there, just let your teacher see you. It does their heart so much good. So he's been doing that now.
That's awesome. He's a good kid.
He is a good kid.
So
Kristen, going back, you had said you use SeeSaw, and I
Mhm.
just had a question talking because since we have been for a couple of weeks now, or actually closer to a month now, been doing this online instruction. Had your students done much with SeeSaw prior to going, or was that new once we went to everything being online?
I've been using Seesaw in my room for 3 years. So
Okay.
I was using it primarily before this just to communicate with parents. Um,
Hmm.
and so then it just became, they usually use the Seesaw family app. So I had to have them download the Seesaw class app,
Okay.
just so their students were able to interact with me too. But we've been using it since day one of school for parent communication. So, and then we still use it as that now.
So I can imagine that would have been a fairly smooth transition then if you had been using it all along and so they were already familiar with that. That's pretty good. So
Yeah, I just had to send a code out to each family that said, here's your student sign on code, and we were good to go from there. So it was a seamless transition. It was awesome.
excellent. Yeah, that's great. Great to know, especially for future planning as well, I think. So
Exactly.
mhm.
Exactly.
So I saw you had done. Wow, I'm not sure if that's grammatically correct, but you were doing some choice boards also.
Yeah. So one of the things that Seesaw is really cool about doing is once a week they're putting out webinars for teachers. And so I watched a webinar last week, 2 weeks ago, about how to create choice boards using Google Slides. And so like Seesaw is free, Google Slides is free, so it's all free, which is awesome. You can't get better than that. Um,
Yeah.
so you like go in and you just kind of create a slide like you would, like you're creating a PowerPoint or something like that. And then the cool thing about Google Slides is you can drop video links in. Um, I can go out on the web and drop um, books that I want my kids to read, and I just make every picture a link. And then Seesaw is compatible with Google, so I just upload the slides into my Seesaw account, and then my kids are able to just click and tap on different things. It safely takes them out onto the web, and then they have to come back and respond to whatever task I've given them. So it takes me, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to create a Google slide. And I've done enough of them now where I just set up a template and just kind of keep the same template and just plug in what I need for each topic.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. Hmm.
I like that a lot.
There are a lot
Especially,
smarter people out in the world than me, and so I've just been spending a lot of time, learning from other people right now, because I never have time to do that during the school year. So um, it's been kind of cool, all the techie stuff I've learned in the last 7 weeks. So
that's a really good point. And I wonder how many people feel that way as well, that just
mhm,
just with this time and with sort of being pushed off the deep end, like we've got to do this. We've got to I know I've learned a lot just looking at the different resources that different people have. So that I probably, given had things been kept the same, I'm not sure I would have learned all these things in the same amount of time. So that's a great point.
exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. We've been so officially after Saturday, I get to take over as president of HASTI, which is fun and scary all at the same time.
Congratulations.
Thanks. um, But we are joining our conference next year with the math folks. And so we're already using Zoom to like interview keynote speakers for next year. But we're also, because we've been thrown into all this, we're investigating how to have a virtual conference next year. Because we're not entirely sure it's gonna, go off without a hitch in person. So that's been something we've wanted to investigate. And now there are a ton of different ways to do that. So it's been cool learning like from the teacher perspective, but also then like my adult brain is growing and learning at the same time. So
Excellent.
Like that you're thinking ahead, you're thinking about how that might work up ahead.
yeah. Yep. Because I mean, you just don't know what next winter will bring us.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Definitely be changed. I know there's
It will be.
just one more thing I wanted to ask you about, because Amy told me, and sorry I haven't looked at everything in the world, but that you were even doing some videos of like science experiments and stuff.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So one of my side hustles is that I get to blog for Oriental Trading Company. And so there are 12 of us education bloggers from across the United States. And normally we would be doing projects in our classroom and blogging about those. Well, they scrapped all that when we all started staying home and asked us if we would do a series of videos about things that kids could be doing at home. Obviously to encourage folks to visit Oriental Trading and buy things, but I've tried to make mine things that you already have at home, kind of science. So my favorite one that I've done so far is making snow with shaving cream and baking soda. That one's always fun because it's an endothermic reaction, I think. I don't know. I teach kindergarten. I don't know. It's either endothermic or exothermic. I don't know. But it gets cold and it packs just like snow. It's pretty cool. And it feels like
It's
snow.
endothermic. Yeah, you're right. It's endothermic.
Endothermic. Yeah. I should know that, but I don't. But that's been a fun one. And then I did one with STEM, like different things that you have around your house, just like index cards and challenges to build tall towers, and does the shape of the base matter, and how high are you able to build depending on how you fold the index card. So just some fun things, again, to get kids off of the screens and to get them being creative even though they're home.
So, yeah, I like that. I like that you're getting them hands-on. You're showing them how to do hands-on things.
Yep.
It's a lot of things that they do have at home, and so it's most of the time they won't need to get stuff, and they can still be successful in creating a project.
I had one little guy a week after we got out of school. My video came out about STEM stuff, and every day when my kids come into my room, we have STEM bins that they can use, and that's kind of our slow start. So one of them is cup stacking. And he went the week after school got out and begged his mom to go on Amazon and buy him some red Solo cups so that he could do cup stacking at home. So once a week I get a different cup formation that he's made sent to me so that I can see all the different ways he's trying to build towers. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I like that. Can we buy red Solo cups?
That's right. He said specifically, Mrs. Poindexter has red Solo cups. I read the word on the side, so it had to be a red Solo cup.
The kids are so literal. That is so much fun. Oh, Sarah, what do you have?
I love your ideas. It's great. I love that you're doing the videos at home, for that Oriental Trading Company. I like that company anyways, and I know I'm not sure we can say that legally, but but I like them, and I like that you're making it accessible, because I was just thinking, gosh, my second grader would like some of these. I mean, I think that you're creating things. It doesn't just have to be for kindergartners. It seems like there's a lot of kids that could benefit from these. I like that.
Absolutely. And it's been fun for me too, because I don't like being on camera because I'm an introvert. So it's been a whole new learning experience. Just talking to myself while standing in my dining room. but I'm just so blessed that, I learned so many cool things like from the Purdue outreach team a million years ago, like 9 or 10 years ago. But I'm blessed that I get to be able to share all those things and that we have the technology so that I can do that. And none of them are my own ideas, just resharing what I find, but, just encouraging kids to be creative, even because we're home doesn't mean you have to stop being creative. So.
Yep.
Great advice.
I like encouraging them, hey, do this experiment, but then do it better or do it differently somehow. And because think about it, that's what, as teachers, we do. We see, we're like, I could use that and teach something. That's a good idea. Heck, that's why we're doing these Inspiring Ideas for Classroom series. That's why we're doing these, to give other people things to make them go, I wonder.
Exactly.
Give them ideas to play with. So it's, yes, let's get the kids doing that now. That's eventually that's what they'll do in scientists.
That's exactly right.
See, it works that way. I wonder if it'll work this way.
Yep.
Hey, let's get them thinking now.
Exactly.
I'm loving it. All right. These are short and quick, as you've seen before, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you taking your time. I know you're juggling a lot of different things right now. We talked earlier about how it's busier now than it was before. Okay? So we'll thank you and leave you alone.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
An outstanding
on
review.
iTunes or your preferred podcast player.
Tweet us your science
At
questions.
Purdue SOS.
Until next time, be super, and remember,
You are someone's hero.
boiler up.
Hammer down.